Good morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home. We're here with Laura Bittner and from TERRA, and we're talking about fall. I know it's not technically fall yet, but we're edging so close.
We are.
And all of these are ready and in at TERRA right now.
You
so.
got it. And you know what? It's the perfect time because sometimes our summer annuals, maybe we missed a bit of watering and they're looking a little tired.
It's time to shift them out. I know what you mean.
Exactly.
They get that dehydrated feeling, and it's hard to really.
So at TERRA, everything's in that says fall and can bring new life and new color and new freshness to your garden.
I think I love how we're achieving that because we're using, of course, flowers, but also vegetables.
Yes,
which is
a little
kind of cool.
cabbage and kale in there, and of course the ornamental peppers.
Yes.
You could eat them, but they don't taste like anything.
No.
So we'll just leave them to look at.
Yeah, just to look at.
Yeah. So we're gonna plant this this container up, and what we're actually going to do is plant it up and then drop it into a more decorative container.
Right.
Which is a great thing to do because you get these big, nice planters, say, or even your urns for the on each side of your house.
Yes.
At the front door, and to fill them with soil. This one's a bit root bound. To fill them with soil and then change them up all the time, it can be a little cumbersome, a little time consuming, and if we're heading on into winter, a little frozen.
Yes.
Not that I want to say that word, but it can get a little.
It's true. It's reality, right?
A little frozen.
Yep.
So to do these insertable drop-ins is a great idea.
Yeah, it is.
So we're going to start off with our height, which is our purple fountain grass.
I love this grass.
I do too. It's a great grass. So this is just an annual grass. It doesn't come back every year, but it is the only one around here that'll give you that beautiful burgundy color.
I actually use that this summer in my pots, and I love because I'm like going to take it and right.
Yeah,
I'm just going to pull out some of my annuals and just add some of my mums. So
that's exactly it. So then we're going to come on this side with the other mum, and basically when you're planting your own container, I've said it before and I'll always say it, I think, when you're planting your own container, choose what speaks to you.
Right.
Choose what really matches your home, matches your taste, and pick your plants according to that.
Okay.
This one's got some height to it. And you know, especially for these fall containers, don't be afraid to shove in as much as you can.
Yeah, get in there, and it really fills it up because you're only having them for such a short period of time, right?
You got it, exactly.
So just
this is a really exciting one this year, the Intense Celosia with its vibrant purple color.
That's beautiful.
So we're going to throw that on in there. A few of those, actually.
I like those. That's nice.
I always make such a mess when I'm here.
That's okay, you're allowed. We have people, clean it up.
Oh, excellent, very good.
It works out.
So we'll get our celosia in there and backfill with our soil. One more for good measure. So after we get this one planted, we are going to want to add some Miracle Grow Quick Start fertilizer.
Okay, and
Just
that's
to
going to really give it a good kickstart, right?
You got it. Allow it to really flower. Give it its best shot for the remaining season. And we got our lovely ornamental peppers. Yep. Sorry, Leslie.
Very, very fun.
There we go. And then we'll finish it off with a couple of pansies.
My goodness, you're right. You are literally filling that right up.
Yeah, yeah.
That doesn't bother them at all. They're gonna
and
flourish.
Often too, if you need to, give the root balls a squeeze.
Okay.
And then get them on in there.
Okay. Very good.
And I'll go pansy on the other side. And then it is a matter of watering, fertilizing, and ta-da-da, dropping this right into your container that's sitting already at your front door.
Perfect.
So now we're going to plant up something a little bit funner, more fun. And it's just this cute little basket. We've got a coir mat inside to hold the soil. And we're going to put in some more fall plants, starting off with our height. And in this case, it is a croton. So
I like this basket. This is cute.
It's not bad, eh? It's like a little
kind of fun.
egg collecting basket. So we're going to put this guy on in here. And again, it's just something to add to maybe your front steps or your back deck, somewhere in there. So get him in there. Then we're going to go for a red mum. So you may notice that they're not quite fully fully bloomed yet, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
No, not at all.
To have a little bit of time for it to color up at your house.
The way it carries you through for a couple of months, right? It'll
Yeah.
take you into October and
Hopefully, yes,
yeah.
with some proper watering.
Proper watering is key.
And fertilizing and all that good
Moms
stuff.
definitely let you know when they need their water.
Yes, they do, don't they? All right, so
And I love that you
again,
can buy at TERRA. You can buy like the tiniest little mums, right? So you can get like nice sizes so that you can do small pots.
yeah,
like this,
you
right?
got it.
You
Exactly.
get the giant ones too that,
that
then you don't
just
have to do
stand on
anything.
their own. Yeah, some of those big ones
Just a pot.
are just
Yep.
beautiful.
I love that.
And now we've got another ornamental pepper here, this time in purples and reds.
That one's fantastic.
I love it,
love
yes.
the colors in there.
We'll get
It's hard to
this
believe that
guy
just
in
grows
here.
naturally like that. That's
Oh, I
just
know.
so cool.
I know. Plant tag out. And then we'll jazz it up with some black-eyed Susan. So there is, of course, the annual black-eyed Susan that we see all around, blooming well into fall.
Right.
But this one in particular is a annual black-eyed Susan. So it's not going to survive the winter here,
Okay.
but it will give us some color going on into fall. Now the great thing about most of these plants is that they can withstand a bit cooler temperatures.
Yes.
Nothing is going to, in this case, withstand a hard frost, but we can expect them to look pretty good if we do get just a wee bit of frost early on.
That's a good part about something this small, though. You can just pull it inside your front door if you really
Yeah,
need to,
very
right?
true. If we are looking
Yeah, if
at
we
low
are.
temperatures, which
Considering the weather's been all over the place this summer.
yes,
And,
very true. So we'll stick this guy in here, make a little room in the soil. Sometimes you really just gotta shove them in there.
that's great.
There we go. Good watering, a little bit of fertilizing, and we're good to go.
I love that. And the great thing is, as well, of course, you know, you've got so much to choose from. We were talking about, looking at this hanging one here, how
Yeah.
beautiful this is. This is fantastic.
Yeah, hanging baskets this year are really just spectacular for fall. And it's only been in the past couple of years that people are really starting to decorate in that way with hanging baskets for
Yeah,
fall.
that's gorgeous.
We've got tons of plants to make your own planters, of
Yes.
course, but we also have just spectacular custom planters that are just big and beyond anything that you might want to or attempt yourself. So
Well, that's the thing. So we talk about the fact that people have small little properties where, you know, maybe they barely even have a backyard, or they live in, you know, an apartment and they want to have something as tiny as this. And some people have big palatial places or lots of property, and they want those big, giant,
we can
big
do those too.
containers.
Yeah.
You guys can do those too and specialize right for somebody.
Yeah,
Which is
exactly.
really quite nice, actually. Or you just come on in, you just buy one already all done, sitting there waiting to
There
go
you go.
because there are so many options. So
Yeah.
again, use your pansies, use some of the vegetables that are out there,
Yes.
some of the ornamental peppers, and have fun and create that fall color.
Yeah, some tropical plants like the crutwin can
Tropical,
do
yeah.
well too. Black-eyed Susan,
Yep.
mums,
Okay.
peppers. Oh,
Very good. So
there's so
you
much.
showed us a good example of some of the things that we can do to add color to our property this fall. Awesome. Thank you so
Thanks.
much, Laura. That's good. All right, that's it for now. Have yourself a good weekend.
Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Good morning. Welcome back to Terra at Home. I'm here with Kimberly Hunter-Mark, and you're the Executive Director of the Niagara Gape and Wine Festival. And I'm also here with Paul Harbour, and you're from Ravine Wineries and Vineyards. And this is the most beautiful spot, and I cannot believe I haven't been here. And I'm so excited because this is our opportunity to talk about the festival coming up in the fall here, and to, well, in like a week's time at this point, but just also feature a little bit about Ravine as well. So, Kimberly, let's talk a little bit about some of what's to be expected as people come down to visit.
We're really excited this year because on September 14th, we have Grand Fondo Niagara launching, and that allows us to add another layer of programming into what we already do for the 2-week festival. So now we've been able to extend it for 3 weeks and have all kinds of cycling enthusiasts across the Niagara coming to experience the Niagara region from all over Canada and the U.S.
And this is what basically Grand Fondo is like an epic ride, right? And it's, I don't know how many kilometers.
125 kilometers.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. So I've been to the one out in out west through Vancouver up to Whistler, but this one is cool because it's, again, now you've got this environment. So
and there are guys that are in the industry that are like Uber training right now, so it is going to be quite the undertaking, but a huge celebration that'll begin in Niagara-on-the-Lake, end in Niagara Falls, and then we've got our Discovery Pass program, and then everything else harvest here in Niagara. So it's going to be a really great year.
And that's the thing that's wonderful about, again, we were talking about the season now, you know, being down here and of course being in Southern Ontario, we have to embrace our seasons. And, you know, wine isn't just all about sitting around, you know, in the summertime and having a glass. We have to talk about the whole year and and that's why we just keep evolving with it, right? So obviously as we're going into harvest time, I mean, this is also a major focus point on, you know, the focus here in Niagara on the vineyards themselves. But, you know, this Discovery Pass, let's talk a little bit about how people can get involved with this and what this means to people.
Well, Discovery Pass program is a really successful program that we run for 3 of our festivals. And essentially the consumer can pick up a pass that has 8 experiences attached to it in a voucher-like program. They will then be able to pick from over 40 wineries that they want to visit from the 20 Valley to beautiful Niagara-on-the-Lake and experience incredible wine and culinary. So it's perfect. I particularly get excited because it's the bounty at this time of year. So you have, you know, your root vegetables, and then you have the grapes that are on the vine, and you can just smell the juice in the air. It's just a very beautiful time of the year.
Yes, and that's, and again, as you're mentioning, the combination of you know, wine and culinary, and, you know, obviously the two of them just go hand in hand, which we'll experience a little bit later on in the show. But, you know, just talking about how it gives people the opportunity to visit the multitude of wineries that we actually do have down here, and some of them, again, from the tiniest little frontage area to go in and just have a tasting to having a full dining experience as you can have here at Ravine. So really it gives people the opportunity to check out places maybe they've never even knew existed. Yeah,
and we do have a lot of nice little niche wineries that just add an element of quaintness to our beautiful industry here. And the 40 partners, honestly, they keep raising the bar with their chefs and their wine pairings, and just the hospitality. I mean, their staffs are so excited to be sharing their Niagara.
Yeah, and that's what's great. And I love that, you know, we've watched the Niagara wine region grow and develop. Every year it just keeps getting bigger and better and more depth to it. And obviously a lot to the help of you, right? Because you're kind of running the show and staying on top of, like we were talking before, each individual winery is its own entity. And then you are taking them and trying to interrupt their day to make them, you know, hey, we're all part of this same family. We're under this umbrella and we want to all promote each other.
Yeah, I want to know their stories. I want to know what's going on, because we spend a lot of time with social media, but also engaging those guests that are planning to come to Niagara and making sure that that experience is in line with what they're expecting.
And it just makes it so fun for people to come down here. And so that brings us a little bit over to you now, Paul, and let's talk about your place here in general. This is such a beautiful environment here in the St. David's area, right?
We are, right in the heart of the village of St. David's. We are one of the newer wineries, hence, like you said earlier, it's your first time visiting. I hear that a lot every day. We're still, we opened our doors in 2008, but our family's been actually on this farm since 1867, the year of Canadian Confederation, and as my great-great-grandfather's credited with the first planting of a commercial vineyard in Niagara on this farm back in 1869.
See, this is the stuff, though. Like, think about that. Like, from the moment I met you and I walked inside of the area where you can go through the tastings and, you know, in your merchandise area, and I couldn't even, I'm like, how old is this building? You said originally 1802, right?
Originally built in 1802 by David Secord, Lord Secord's uncle, the namesake of the village of St. David's. It was burnt during the War of 1812, and, like, especially now with the bicentennial of the war or whatever. It's got quite a bit of significance. The whole village was burnt during the war, and then it was rebuilt by the Woodruff family in 1815. And we ended up finding it in pieces up in Port Hope. It was dismantled in 1969. We moved all the pieces back. And
I can't believe you found it.
I know, right? we Googled it. William Woodruff Homestead. It came up for sale from the previous owners in Bond Head that had
Serious?
it. And yes,
Like it was on Kijiji or something?
yeah, well, see, it was taken apart or whatever lovingly by this doctor from Caledon and a Finnish architect with the full reasoning that he wanted to move it up to Caledon to rebuild it. Then that year he passed away from a heart attack. The family then sold it to the Chambers that wanted to rebuild it in Bond Head. They ended up holding on to it for a number of years, but then selling it to the Rumgays that had the same aspirations of rebuilding it. So
Good thing that there was enough people that actually cared, right?
Exactly. Otherwise, it could have just been sold off in pieces, the mantles and the doors and the floorboards
Because you
and all
walk
this.
in and it you can smell that it's been around for a long. It has that night. There's something about it, right?
Yeah.
And there's a certain feel, and it's gorgeous. And you've managed to retain everything, all its character and everything about it.
Yeah, 6 years it took.
I can't even imagine.
The largest jigsaw puzzle ever put back together, but
I bet. But what an experience for people to walk in the door and be able to do a tasting there, right? So,
for sure.
you know, just the whole environment and all part of the history of the farm.
Right.
Okay, so let's talk about from your perspective here during September and when people are coming down. Like, what can people expect?
Well, just everything. Harvest is getting into full swing at that point. All the fruits and veg that are at our disposal in the month of September is just really kicking up the restaurant to the next level as well. It's our first year actually participating in the festival. We started off so small, only making our first year 900 cases, then 1,200 cases. We finally got ourselves up to a production level that we could actually get into the park. I've always enjoyed it as a consumer, but really looking forward to it as a pourer there this year for Ravine. So
that'll be fun.
Oh, it definitely will be.
Lots of fun. So, Kimberly, if people are looking to get one of these Discovery Passes, how can they do that?
www.niagarawinefestival.com. Visit our winery partners. Pick up the phone the old-fashioned way, but reach out to us on Facebook. But you can find us, and the website's probably the easiest way.
And that's the best part, right? So you've got all the different wineries, but of course Montebello Park itself is where, as you were just alluding to, it's just so much fun, right? That's where it goes down.
It's the heartbeat. It is music and food and wine, and entertainment,
and people
seminars,
and
10,000 of your best friends.
I know, and I love it, and it's such a great experience, and it's beautiful because of the environment as well, right? And so,
historic park again in Niagara. We're so rich with history and heritage, and we want to share it with the world.
Okay, well, thank you so much, guys. And again, this is such a beautiful spot here, and down in St. David's, you do have to check it out because this is like one of those spots where, like, I can't believe this exists. Oh my goodness! And you're driving through St. David's, and here it is. So, thank you, Paul, and thank you, Kimberly.
Thank you.
Some good stuff, and best of luck to the September season. All right, we'll be back with more TERRA Home after this.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
AM 900 CHML is giving you more news when you want it most. Non-stop news weekday mornings 5 till 9, weekday afternoons 3 to 6, with weather and traffic on the 9s. Hear about it first from AM 900 CHML, Hamilton's news talk leader.
Good morning. Welcome back to TERRA at Home. We're in the TERRA kitchen with Chef Iain, and we are making something that we are so excited about. I can't wait to try. So it's kind of like a breakfast brunch idea, but I think I could probably eat it any time of day. Dessert?
This would definitely be a dessert item, absolutely. It's one of my favorites. It's Bourbon Pain Perdu, which my producer have affectionately called it as fancy French toast. So
Which is why we could say it's breakfast, but you probably shouldn't mean it for breakfast.
there you go.
Okay. So, where do we begin with this? Because there's just yummy smells all over the place
Well,
already.
Without further ado, we're going to start with 4 cups of heavy cream.
Oh my goodness.
Not 1%, Leslie, heavy cream.
All right.
From the heavy cream, we are going
We go
to
to
add...
the gym.
Not quite yet. We're going to add 9 eggs.
9 eggs.
9
Holy
eggs.
smokes. That's a lot of eggs. Can I
So-
help?
Absolutely.
All right. Try not to.
For the 9
oh.
eggs, try to keep the
Not
shells
pretty
out.
as
It's all good,
chef.
as long as the end result is the same.
Right.
After the 9 eggs,
Okay.
we're going to add 4 tablespoons of sugar, a scrape of vanilla bean.
Now, when you scrape a vanilla bean, tell me about that.
Well, ultimately, our vanilla beans come from Madagascar. And I split it open and I grab the dull end of my knife and I work my way up. And that's
And you're
left
getting
with
all
the
of
vanilla.
that.
Sticky, syrupy.
I've never actually
Goodness.
worked with a real vanilla bean like that, a soft vanilla bean. That's just going to add way more flavor than you adding.
Oh, absolutely. And always keep
extract.
your vanilla pods afterwards. You can put it into your sugar jar. You can infuse your sugars with vanilla bean. What I do is I have a jar of bourbon and I put my vanilla beans back in. So I'll always have a stock of bourbon vanilla extract.
Because that's always good to have.
Because that is
on
always
hand.
good to have. We also have a
Yum.
1/4 cup of bourbon going into our mix.
Okay.
If you wouldn't mind putting in 4 tablespoons of sugar, Leslie.
Sure.
And we're gonna start to get things going.
Okay. 4 of these guys.
4 of those bad boys, please.
2, 3, and 4.
So once we incorporate the eggs and cream mixture together, we're going to cut our day-old baguette.
Okay.
We're going to cut them into fairly large pieces. And what happens is,
Am I doing that?
if you would be so kind, 4 large pieces, 5 large pieces.
Okay, yeah, wait, I'll try to do the math.
There you go.
That wolf ones will be a little bit bigger. Should I do half or?
Half of that.
There we go. I didn't really look at it before I cut it.
That's okay.
Fabulous.
So,
Okay.
let's get things out of the shot. Ultimately,
it
what we're
smells
going to
good.
do is we're going to give our bread a bath. We're just going to continue to soak it. And what happens is we put it into the refrigerator overnight.
Okay.
So it continues to soak. With the magic of television, ladies and gentlemen, I bring you an almost finished product.
I'll take that one for
That's
me.
very kind of you.
Yep.
Essentially what's happened is it's soaked overnight. Once it goes into the fry pan, the outside stays nice and crispy. The inside is going to taste just like custard. Everything delicious.
So you can see how it's floating when we add the other one, and now it's literally, the bread has absorbed all of this, the bourbon and the cream and the egg, and it's sunk to the bottom.
Yep.
So it's all the way through, which is why, again, okay, just keep going because this sounds amazing.
So we have eggs, we have cream, we have bourbon, we have sugar.
Oh.
We're now going to add some
Awesome.
butter to the pan because everything, as I said, tastes better with butter.
This is really good.
We're going to take our piece of bread. Now
Yeah.
beside you there is a saucer of sugar, if you'd
Yeah.
be so kind as to pass.
Okay.
I'm going to dust it lightly with a little bit of flour. It's going to help with the crust. A little bit
good
of
tip.
sugar. And essentially, this goes in our fry pan.
Oh my goodness me. This is so cool. This you could really impress your guests with, I have to tell you.
Relatively easy to make. It's very few ingredients, just a little bit of prep time overnight, and you're left
Right.
with a really great product the next day. And absolutely, it will definitely impress friends.
But I always think it's a good thing when you have something that you can prep ahead of time, because then you are not doing it all in one day when, you know, there are steps like this involved. So having this and being able to put this away and then revisit the next day and just do this just separate the steps a little bit,
Well
right?
said. It gives you the opportunity to meet with your guests and
Yes.
greet with your company. Absolutely. You're a better host that way. And as you can see, we're starting to caramelize the top with the
Right.
sugar and the flour.
Right.
And once that's done, we're going to put it into a 400-degree oven for about 10 or 12 minutes just to finish off.
Wow. Okay. So it is take a little bit of time to cook because you are, again, trying to get that crust on there. But as you're saying, with the flour and the sugar, that's going to help sort of smooth that along a little bit.
Develops a little bit of the crust. It makes it nice and crunchy on the outside.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I wish everyone could smell this because this is really, really awesome.
It is a decadent dessert.
Yeah, it is. But I can see why, our producer's calling this French toast, because it is reminiscent of it, far off distant cousins.
Could be, could be.
Wow, that's amazing. So we are obviously, you said, how long are you going to put in the oven for?
10 to 12 minutes on
Okay.
a 400-degree oven.
Okay, and then the best part about this is, of course, later on is what we put on top of it.
For
right?
sure.
So we're putting sauce.
I think I
and
might
fruit
have
and-
some blueberry compote to go with that.
My
And of
goodness.
course, it's great with a little bit of maple syrup as well.
Yeah. Okay, now what else would you put with this? Is there anything else that you would accompany with it other than that? Is this on its own? Would you have a
You
drink
could
with it?
certainly put a
Would
drink
you have
with it.
bourbon with it?
Ice cream is definitely a favorite.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, you could totally do a dessert and make it into an ice cream dessert
cream.
with a little salted caramel on top. Oh, absolutely.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. So you're just doing one for the benefit of us right now, but you need to get cooking all of this at some point so that we can all try it. You understand that, right?
I understand.
Okay, all right. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll, again, do the steps of putting it into the oven, making sure it's in there for your 10 to 12 minutes, and then we'll come back, and we are basically going to put it all together, show you what can be done with it,
That's
talk
right.
about our fruit compote that we made, and should be good to go. All right, so that's what we'll do. We'll take a break, and we'll come back.
You've sat under them and built forts in them. You've swung from them and fell out of them. You've even fallen in love under them. Trees have always held a special place in our hearts and memories. A natural beauty, trees will grow with you and your family and bring color and nature into your world. For your assurance of quality, look for trees and shrubs with the Medallion plant tag. Medallion plants, locally grown, the pride of Niagara.
Welcome back to TERRA Home, and if you've wonder where Chef Iain has gone to, he's gone to get my dessert, so bring it over. I can't
My
wait.
way.
We had to show you the oven shot, because this is just awesome, and we can all smell it, and we can't wait to try this. Hi.
It is a thing of beauty. I just ask you to watch your hands because
Okay.
the pan is extremely hot. Introduce you to my friend, Pan Perdu.
So we have to remind everybody what's happened here. Because you, again, pan-seared it first, putting a little flour, sugar, pan-seared it, then you put it in the oven. Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's just
now
the
what's
insides
happened
have
to
turned
it?
to a custard.
Yeah.
You've got a crusty exterior, custardy inside. What we'll do is we're going to add a little blueberry compote to it. What's Pan Perdu without a little maple syrup and perhaps some powdered sugar.
Wow. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your compote that you made. You chose blueberries.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, which is, I think, perfect. But how did you make it?
A cup of blueberries, half a cup of water, a couple of teaspoons of sugar.
Okay.
Cook it down until the blueberries start to break down a little bit. Give it a quick stir, and compote made.
So just a little bit of a low heat and just
Low
kind of let
heat.
it go. Okay,
Yeah.
that's easy, right? So you can do that with
Really
any fruit.
easy.
So you could do it with raspberries, strawberries, whatever, right?
Strawberries just take a little longer, just
Sure.
a little bit to break down.
Yeah.
Raspberries, a gentle fruit, just as quick as
Okay.
blueberries.
Wow. Okay, so let's put this together. And as you're doing that, just a reminder, if you are looking to make this recipe, because then you're going to want to make this recipe, because we all want to, you can find it on our website, terragreenhouses.com. Well, those look so rich and great. And again, this time of year to get blueberries, easy.
Oh, the
This
smell is amazing.
awesome. You should have made all of the pieces.
There we go.
Because I'm eating
Just a
this one.
little
I might share with our makeup artist, Kathy.
little sprinkle
Look at
of
that.
some powdered
Oh, and
sugar.
then
And I'll let you do the honors of maple syrup.
Okay, I can
Everybody's
do this.
different. I like
Okay,
a little
ready?
bit.
I like a lot. That's it for now. Thanks, Chef Iain. Have a good weekend.